words, because I had this problem, and I think I had a text coach in a Shakespeare show, and like I was like, something. And then he noted it, and it was like, no, don't, the emphasis doesn't go, I mean, unless it does, but, my passion. So you play, not my passion, my passion. And so you play the word that has the meat and the color, right? Instead of the, I sing. Yeah? It feels different, right? It sounds different, it looks different. And so like keep that in mind, and that may be something that you'll have to like mark up when you're going over lines and like learning things and just revisit, and you go back and you're like, oh, okay, like what does that sound like? And that's, it can help when you're stuck and you're like, oh, this doesn't feel right, I feel like I'm going to go back through and try to like mark and see like what are the words that you can play, that you can see. I sing myself, I celebrate myself. I sing myself. That is a good poem. I forgot who wrote it. I think Walt Whitman or somebody wrote that poem. Anyway, yes. Thoughts, feelings? Wait. On anything.
But like, play in like a good way. Like we got to play with doing the scenes with each other and doing the scenes by ourselves, which I think is.
What was the hardest thing to do? To play together or play solo?
Solo.
Why? Why is that the hardest? Why was that the hardest thing?
Because you can't build up. Oh.
Yeah,
You can't build off of anybody. You can't play off of anybody. Like when we were doing our scene, I was like I had like, there was this whole like little process in my mind. I was like, okay, so we're not going to catch. Like when we did it at first, he came at me and I was like, okay, I can cover her back. Like this is like I can play with it that way. But then when we tried to turn it down to him, we were like, okay, we're gonna play with distance. We're gonna. Your tone. I was like, your tone's softer. Let me make my tone a little deeper. I'm not gonna yell as much, but there's still gonna be some force behind it.
It's hard to take criticism of them. In my opinion, it's really hard to listen to somebody say, like, I don't know. I feel like I really would prefer someone to tell me that I suck or straight up and tell me what I need to work on, because it's sometimes, I don't know, as artists, I feel like we get a little bit embarrassed when our choices aren't considered like the best thing or the best thing for the scene, and it makes us feel a little bit more like reserved with ourselves, and we want to call back into our shells and all that,
Which then works against you.
Yeah, and that's something that you just like gotta build up on.
But you know what? Maybe it's not that you suck. It may just be the choice or the intention that you're playing is not the right thing.
Yeah.
And so, so in this last little bit, in the first time he did it, he had a different intention than the last time, right? And the last time it was like, oh, like that, there was something more going on. And it was like, oh, who are these people? Like, what are they, like, what is the situation that he's in? And so, like, sometimes it's not about sucking. It's just about, okay, well, what's not working? And figuring out, like, another path. But sometimes we get stuck, and so someone that you need other eyes and say, okay, what does this feel like to you? What do you, yeah.
And I really appreciated that you didn't necessarily you gave us advice and you gave us notes, but you weren't like, I need you to like do this, and you weren't putting your own, because I know that like if you had read any of our monologues, then you would have done it a way that like suited for you, but you let us kind of mold a little bit of the character ourselves with our own hands and our own feelings. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. It's so important though, because like my approach is going to be so different from you guys, because I was familiar with most of the material, and so like I would have had a kind of understanding of that character and like what path should be taken, or the path most traveled for that particular character. But then also my actor choices are going to be different than like any one of yours, as are yours from mine. And like I said, you guys, nothing is wrong. It's just about figuring out what fits right in whatever that package is. So if you're in an ensemble, if you're in a cast, and everybody's working towards this one thing, like you can't be working towards red and everybody else is working towards blue, because it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And so you have to figure out, okay, well, how can I get to blue? Like, what works for me to get on this track? And that's working together and building as an ensemble. But even if you're solo dolo, you also have to figure out what the connector is. What's the so I've made this mistake before, and it's so important when you're talking to people, like when you guys become the teachers in a way to the people that are going to come under you. It's so important to also not only tell them your triumphs, but tell them your mistakes and things that you've got wrong. I've gotten so many, I just got something wrong today. I had 2 auditions and neither one of them were good. But like I didn't have the time or the mental capacity to think of, like I had to get them out of the door. And it's something that's like, yo, my reel is attached. If they see something they like, if I fit whatever they will call me. But like it's one of those things where you can't stress over it to the point where it becomes detrimental to you. But yeah, I was about to say something else now. I forgot what I was about to say.
We tried that. We're on the track like red, blue, like you can't work toward red line.
Yeah, and and even like for when you're a solo performer or you're doing something, you figure out there are so many variables that happen in performance and in shows. But the thing I've said over and over again is being grounded, because you can build from the ground. You can't build if you start in the air. So give yourself somewhere to plant some roots, so like you have a firm grip on something, and then you just flower. Because you can grow as tall as you want to, right? But like you have to be grounded, and then you have to pour into yourself, and you're watering yourself by reading as many plays as you can, seeing as much theater, television, like all of that stuff. Theater and television is different. Theater, like, it's a different experience, right? Because the people are in front of you. You're feeding them, they're feeding you. And so yes, you can watch TV shows and all those things and get some things from it, but like, go to the theater. Go to as much theater as you can. Like, that's one of the things that I did when I was coming up, and I didn't have the reach and the access. And so like I went to everybody's shit. Like literally. I would go to anybody's thing, I would talk to anybody, and I'm like, hey, I'm Tamiko, how are you? And they'd be like, why is she following us? I'm just kidding. But I would like go to things, I would talk to people, and that's how you have experiences. My friends, a friend that Dave and I worked together with, her name is Mary McCallum. She is one of the most fearless people that I know. Like we would go to so many different theater festivals, and like we would have a freaking van with a little U-Haul attached to it. We would drive our asses all the way to New York. We would go to Florida, and I think it'd be like 10 of us in this damn van. And like there's still some of my best friends to this day, because we had so many experiences like that. And like we were, most of us didn't have real jobs where we were like, so, we were up there in New York living on, shrimp fried rice the whole time we were there. But like we were there, we were building the experiences, we were going to plays and festivals and seeing how art is done, not only where you are, but like everywhere else. Because then like you see, and then you get inspired. You don't have to build all on your own. Like if you don't have an idea of what the world looks like, how can you build it, right? And so you go into other communities, you see other things, and you see how other people move and operate, and then like you work that into your bones and your body. Like I cannot say that enough. Go to the theater and appreciate the arts. Questions? Wait, did you had something else that you wanted to do?
I had dialogue that did something.
Yeah.
Do we go? Is it y'all together or y'all have something separate?
It's separate.
Okay. It's a scene?
Yeah, I had given Amber and TK Alicia's Power to the People. I didn't know if you would do like the monologues again like you did last time. And she has Mean to Me from Amos Bay.
Yeah, I mean, we got a little time.
Okay.
Pop up.
Oh, okay.
Okay, close the sack. Close the sack, y'all. I'm excited. I don't know.
Give me a second, don't leave.
Do you need the chairman?
No, I know it's okay. Thank you, Chairman.
It's the same music. I trust you, babe. Let's do this. This is probably something that you've not said to this person, and you don't have the nerve to say to this person until you're seeing it as they have exited, right? And so in that is a kind of nervousness. Well, yeah, and you have that, but there's also kind of power in that. It's like, you know, you're what you are, and then, you know, and you get stuff. Yeah, stuff. But yeah, so I love how you started off, because you're, you know, kind of folded in on yourself, and it's like, and you sing out your desires and what you want, and then at the end of that it comes. Yeah. So let's play with that and see what a little bit of that feels like, and a demanding of you give me what I need from you.
Yeah, that sounds good. Just source. Okay. I'm on it. Okay. Alright.
So just 2 bars.
Yeah.
Do it.
and this is for everyone's note, always be mindful of what your extremities are doing. Don't move or just step for the sake of like have a direction. So like you're gonna go. Yeah, like the intention. Like you're. I mean, so like maybe you were chasing them out. So like you go, and then you realize you're not gonna go anywhere. You go back in, and then you get to. And now I'm left home sing, and then you're gonna sing, and I will, like, feel yourself. And then she goes and she does this thing, but then, you know, you do these things.
This is my house, I get.
Yeah. And so, like, let us just take the room.
Oh! Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
Okay, we probably don't have enough time for. Is it a mono or it's a C? When did we see a write this? Oh my God, I can't wait to read this. Wait, is this a short?
It's a short.
Yeah, I'm totally telling that I have for work. We'll do that. Are there any questions for me, like concerns? Like, do you have something coming up? Like, there's a question about what should I do? What's the direction?
It really irritates me that when I'm in a warm up phase, I can't like break out like I should go.
You can.
I'm gonna like something else.
Yeah, scream.
I'm do that.
Yeah.
But I'm not together.
Oh, well then do like what do you do? What do you do to what is something that makes you be like, come on, do you watch football? Do you watch so what do you do? Are you like going to the okay. Me too. I'm like, come on! Like, what's this?
I gotta get up there.
Yeah, so like do something, like get your body moving, like do something that engages the essence of like, you know, who you are. Do again, we're like, so I would just like literally scream because that's one of the ways to just like let it kind of freak yourself out. And I'm sure it just freaked everybody else out, like just doing that. But yeah, like you kind of so scare yourself. And that was one of the things that I discovered too when I would go to auditions earlier on in my career, and like there would be these actors, and motherfuckers would just be going, and I'm like, damn, like they're making choices. Like they would be making choices, and I'd be like, oh, I'm next. So I'm like, I don't know, and then my dumb ass would go up and do what somebody else just did. Like, did you just saw what this person? Why would you go and do the exact same thing? But sometimes, mentally, even if like you're a seasoned actor, sometimes you'll fall in the trap of that. Like I was at this audition one time in Atlanta, and I'm hearing through the door what this girl was doing, and I'm like, that is not a good choice. And then I went in there and it's something took over, and I literally did the same thing that the damn girl had just done. And I walked out and I was like, what the is wrong with me? And so do a thing, and you just have to like be scared, look stupid, feel dumb. People in the be ugly, you know. It is because we work so hard in our everyday lives to perfect this polished thing that we've become, and you don't want that to drop. Who had that? One of y'all had that line. Paulina had the line of like, but then they expect this of me, and we walk our lives every day with people expecting things of us. And if I did something, like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like if I did something that they don't think that I was supposed to do, but like, how do you learn and discover if you're not willing to divert from whatever your normal is? And so like that would be my challenge to you. You're not a screamer. Try that shit out. Just yell. And not, you don't have to take on characteristics of that in any performance or anything like that. But try to like, now better do it for me. And then do something else. Or watch something and see what's like, somebody like, I could never do that. And then go do it. Do it in the mirror, in the privacy of your own home. So you don't have to be afraid of being judged and all that stuff. But yeah, like do that. Like it takes facing fear to be able to do a lot of this stuff. So, yeah.
How do you like get in character and stay there? Like, what is your main and like gets you set there?
It'll be different for everybody. For me specifically, and that's one of my pet peeves. If I'm on stage, and sometimes we talk about the character, especially if I'm on the phone. I did a show with like all of the friends that I was talking about, and I think like one of them did something. He threw out a little ad lib, and I was like, oh, we playing today. We playing today. And so the next scene, I came out, threw something out, and my character was walking off the stage, so I didn't have to do nothing. So like I didn't have to like sit in whatever. I just threw on and shit on stage, right? In my family was that all the rest of the actors that were on stage broke. And like that, that's a thing, like that happens, and that can be fun sometimes. But one of my pet peeves as an actor is when I'm on stage with somebody and I'm like, or I'm watching somebody, I'm like, what the fuck is you doing? Like, I can see you, like it'll be an actor who is only tapped in when it's time to talk. And I'm like, but you're on stage all the time, friend, I can see you. Like, what are you doing? And so I play to what I am. So an actor, I was on stage, and it was an August Wilson show, and I had no goddamn lines for like 4 pages. And I had to do some shit. Like I had to, you don't have to keep creating business or whatever, but sometimes it's just about listening. And so like I'm engaged, I'm tapped in, like whatever, I've heard this, whatever it was, 40 times. I'm tapped in, an actor, and you have to be so tapped in that when something goes wrong, you're able to act within where you are. So in this one particular show, an actor, so I'm sitting, and I ain't have no blocking, I didn't have no line, there was nothing for me to do. I'm literally sitting at a table, and this actor has 3 or 4 pages of a monologue, and he's doing all this stuff, he has all this shit that he got to do with talking, and I'm just like, engaging and whatever, and he gets a tickle. This nigga finna cough. And it's one of those where you're gonna be taken out, where it's like you're gonna, if he goes, like you gone. And it was one of those, and I was like, okay. And so I made a choice as the character. I saw what was happening as the actor. Then as a character, I got up out of my seat. I went to the sink on stage, pulled out a mug from thing, poured him some water. And in character, brought it in, said it wasn't shit to do, like that was not supposed to be happening, but I saw what was happening, and because I was so tuned in, like I didn't freak out, like nothing, like I was able to then in turn try to say his dumb ass didn't drink it for whatever reason, and I'm like, so we got ourselves like, didn't you see me bring you the water? And his dumb ass was like, what water? I'm like, oh my God. So he was like, it probably took him out of his mental space, so he was probably thinking the whole time, damn, we're gonna call. So he didn't even see what and I had made a whole movement, and I'm like, that wasn't my damn blocking. I got up and I got some water. Like, that wasn't my blocking, but he was, tuned out because of whatever. But it's one of those things where you just have to be tapped in and be engaged. You have to be intentional about being present in whatever moment and listening. Because I can tell the difference between an actor who's listening and who's not listening, who's putting on and who's being, right? And so like you have to be one of those that's being, that's existing in that moment. Yeah. All right, I've talked too long. Love you guys being in. Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you guys. But are there any questions after this that come up? I can't remember if I shared my email last time, but I'll send. Yeah, so do you have everyone's email?
I do.
Okay, so you send me an email and I'll put us all on a thread. And that way I'll drop links to the scripts, or I'll drop the scripts in.
Gotcha. And
then if anyone thinks of like any questions or anything after that, you can just drop them in there, or like do me a ditty afterwards. Perfect.